Let's take a look at how the season panned out.
Next stop on the off-road racing tour was KwaZulu-Natal and the Sugarbelt 400. With its unique mixture of fast roads and tight forest tracks, the Chapex gave their 2-litre Porsche motor a good head of steam. In the forests, it was altogether different as Pinoy and Jackson negotiated a muddy gully in their quick-fit raceco. Despite trying hard, Carolyn could not close the gap on the Chapex, while the Chenoweth crew of Mark Surer and Cedric Fryer held off Pinoy to claim third. John Rowe and Andrew Davis took fifth in Rowe's self-built JRE, finishing 7 minutes clear of Schilling and Thorne, who battled in the very tight sections with the big Jimco. The Chapex second win of the year moved them into the championship lead, and Carolyn's second place ensured that he held a strong second. Surer and Fryer were both delighted with their third place, as were Rowe and Davis with their fifth. The battle for production vehicle honours turned into a fight between the two Toyota entries. Coetzee and Leek eventually got the verdict after the Land Cruiser got bogged down and cost Reiniger and Houghton around 15 minutes. The event also marked the debut of the new Class E turbo diesel Mitsubishi Pajero of Neil Woolwich and Paul Vermaak. It was quick from the start and went on to take third and win Class E hands down. Fourth was reserved for Barker and Joubert's Land Rover V8, while Anthony and Birkin kept their Class E title hopes on track by taking fifth place. On home turf, there was simply no stopping that man Cox as he flew through the cane fields to record his third straight win in as many races. Following him, and winner of the 250 class was Yamaha-mounted Richard Manning, who also hails from Natal. Graham McLaughlin was going well on his 250 Honda, while former teammate Lance Trethewey was now the competition on a Yamaha. Errol Dalton took second in the 500 class with third place, while the flamboyant Darrell Curtis scored his first points of the year after crashing badly and breaking ribs at a regional race earlier in the season. Behind the local heroes, Dalton took third ahead of McLaughlin, and little-known Sean Labuskaghni got himself noticed by taking fifth on his Yamaha after Trethewey dropped back slightly. The battle for honours in the quad category turned out to be a classic confrontation between Van Deventer, now on a Honda, and Christo van der Merwe. Throughout the day they swapped the lead, but at the end Van Deventer managed to pull out a few minutes to win. Paul Breckel was well up until he struck problems and dropped back, which gave third place to Yamaha rider Kevin Pereira. Completing the top five was local rider Adrian High. Round 4 of the championship was the Toyota 1000 Desert Marathon held in Botswana. Reiniger and Houghton headed the production category championship comfortably, but behind them there were only 6 points separating the Barker Joubert Land Rover and the Coetzee Leek Toyota Hilux in the battle for second.
Ons het alles gedoen wat 'n mens moontlik kan doen om hierdie byeenkoms vandag en môre te wen. So wat ons kampioenskapspunte aanbetref, ons is baie tevrede waar ons op die oomblik is en ons hoop dat met hierdie wen ons die voorsprong nog 'n bietjie gaan vergroot.
As the Chapex held an advantage at the top of the special category points log, there was also a close battle for second. Carolyn had a 2-point advantage over Lambert and Faree, while Rowe and Davis were a further 7 points adrift.
Well, the attack is going to be as per normal. We've got the time to defend. We're going to hang in the morning reasonably slowly today, and we've got 2 days ahead of us, so we're going to go through the field as we go. We're starting fourth on the grid. We pulled fourth out of a hat, which is not a bad position, and we're going to just take it easy and keep the car together, because I think the important day is tomorrow, and for tomorrow is what we're looking forward to, the finishing line.
Johan Kruger led the quad brigade, but there was little in it, and Van der Merwe and Van Deventer were tied on 37 points for second place.
A long hard race, well time to make up time, not worried about the starting there. 1,000 k's to go, Lucas and Christo behind there. Got a good chance again, yeah. The longer I go, the better I go. We should do well.
Both Alfie Cox and Clayton Enslin had scored maximum points in their respective bike classes and held the upper hand. But in the 250 class, Graham McLaughlin was only 7 points clear of Richard Manning, and Elmer Simons was coming on strong. With its soft sand and thorn bushes, the Toyota 1000 is one of the toughest off-road races on the calendar. Bucks Carolyn and Kenny Schaldhammer were desperate for a good finish in their lubrication equipment raceco and were the early pace setters. Another fast but fragile car is the Volvo turbo-powered Beetle of Jackie Joubert and Donnie Smith. This year, Lady Luck was smiling on them, and they were looking good for a podium finish. After losing four-wheel drive early in the event, Barker and Joubert were having a torrid time. Coetzee and Leek had led the production category until an altercation with a cow cost them over an hour. There were no such problems for the Chepex, as they were maintaining a strong pace at the front of the specials category. Their Porsche 2-litre motor ideally suited to the conditions. With Coetzee having drama, Reiniger and Houghton had little opposition in the production category and led comfortably. Schilling and Thorne were also going well in the Jimco, and after their disastrous season last year, they were thoroughly enjoying themselves. Ultra reliable was how the opposition were referring to the Mitsubishi Pajero, as Woolwich and Vermaak headed for another Class E win. Chepek's steady drive saw him and his son score another resounding win. Schilling and Thorne stayed in the championship hunt by taking second, ahead of Carolyn and Scholthammer, while Joubert brought the Beetle home in an emotional fourth, ahead of Rob Walk and Donovan Roscoe. Reiniger and Houghton were victorious in the production category, winning by almost 2 hours from Coetzee and Leek. Barker bagged third despite not having two-wheel drive for most of the 2 days. Woolwich and Vermaak were next in the time-freight Mitsubishi and were followed by the petrol engine version of Schooney and Karel van Vuren. Bloemfontein's finest rider Graham McLaughlin scored something of an upset by winning the bike section, his first major win. His opposition had wilted under the strain, and Darrell Curtis took a painful trip through a thorn tree, but quickly got back into the saddle and carried on to take an eventual second. There was a giant-killing act from Clayton Enslin, who was only 2 minutes behind Curtis at the end. Up-and-coming star Elmer Simons was fourth in only his first season of top-level off-road racing. Veteran Jeremy Davies, riding for the Shell Honda outfit, was delighted with fifth after a 2-year absence from the sport. Before retiring and turning his hand to track racing, he was Cox's greatest rival, along with Willie Ireland. Grant Bloomfield was sixth, which gave the Shell Honda outfit first, fourth, fifth and sixth. This race turned the quad championship on its head, as first Vickers van Deventer's mechanic crashed his Steve before the race started, and then it caught fire and burnt out during the race, and Christo van der Merwe also retired. Louis Boshoff found himself in contention on the Polaris, while Yuri Duplessis was running nicely as well. At the end, victory went to Yamaha-mounted Mark Breckel, who was over 40 minutes clear of Duplessis. Boshoff survived without drama to take third ahead of 200cc winner Johan Steenkamp, Leon van Eerden and championship leader Johan Kruger. Round 5 of the 7-race series was the Bell Equipment Trans-Tongaland race.